Chelsea against Manchester United in the 5th round of the FA Cup, as Chelsea and Maurizio Sarri go into a season-defining couple of weeks, started by going up against the Red Devils under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on Monday night, while also two of the league's best players in Eden Hazard and Paul Pogba clash. To find out about injury updates on Martial and Lingard, what was said in the press conferences, and just everything you need to know about both sides ahead of the game, be sure to watch this preview until the end. Hello there guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Chelsea versus Manchester United game in the 5th round of the FA Cup taking place on Monday evening. Of course, it is a game that we're all looking forward to. It is a game that I think all of us Chelsea fans, probably some of the United fans as well, are kind of nervous about. It is pretty season defining, the next few games. Obviously the second leg against Malmo, but Man United, Man Utd in the League Cup final, and then obviously also Tottenham in the league, a couple of days after the League Cup final. This is season defining for us. This is season defining for Maurizio Sarri. This is job defining for Maurizio Sarri, quite possibly. So, this is quite big. Of course, this is the preview. There will be loads of other content, surrounding the game. Ahead of the game, of course, there will be a review, there will be fan cams and a vlog after the game as well. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, please be sure to subscribe to 100% Chelsea, and let's also see whether we can hit 400 or more likes in this video. That would be massively appreciated, so please do be sure to smash the like button down below. But now getting straight into the preview and starting it off as usual by speaking about our opposition, and that of course is Manchester United. And currently Manchester United sitting 4th in the league, going on a mad run of form ever since Solskjaer took over from Mourinho, which put them 1 point ahead of ourselves and Arsenal on 51 points with a goal difference of 17, scoring 52 goals and conceding 35. And that mad run that I was on about stretched from Mourinho being sacked following United's 3-1 loss away at Liverpool in December up until now, really. I mean, they won 8 games on the bounce, 6 in the league, and then 2 in the FA Cup as well. Some big games in there as well, before getting a 2-2 draw against Burnley a couple of weeks ago. A game in which they were, 2-0 down already, but somehow still clawed back a point with 2 goals in the final few minutes. Then they just about beat Leicester 1-0. Pretty close game, very close. Lucky to win that, in my opinion. Then cruised basically to the 3 points against Fulham. Before then in this midweek, they were kind of shown their limits a little bit by PSG, who beat them 2-0 at Old Trafford. And that without Neymar and Cavani, while United only had 1 shot on target in that entire game. So, like I say, PSG kind of showed them their limits, but up until then, their recent form has been absolutely ridiculous. The question is, will this result be the end of kind of the honeymoon period a lot of caretaker managers go through? Or will we suffer from kind of the anger after the first defeat on the Solskjaer? I mean, that we'll just have to wait and see for Monday. Both things could really happen. On them tactically, while they certainly look a lot more like a unit than they did under Mourinho, they certainly look like they're kind of playing for each other a little bit more than they did beforehand. They're, in my opinion, not that much better. They're not playing that much better football. At least, in some games, yes, especially at the start, but it has kind of slowed down in recent weeks, at least in my opinion. Of course, their form has been ridiculous, but it's not always been as plain sailing as maybe their form makes it look. Swear, whenever I've watched them play, their goals just came from unbelievable long balls by Pogba to Rashford, who's quicker than everybody else, and then just scored. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like all of their goals are. Of course, they're not, but, when you watch them, that's kind of all that happens, really. I mean, of course, they're not playing badly, and they're not a great team. They are a great team, and they are playing well. I'm just saying that Solskjaer has been not as much of a miracle worker as, some people are making him out to be. And while they're definitely also conceding less goals than they did before he came in a lot of games, or say in a few games at least, that was also down to luck, especially that Leicester game. I mean, Leicester should have scored 3 really, not United beat them 1-0. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous, but still, they have improved in every aspect of the game, in all honesty, especially Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford, Martial, and also Lingard. Although the latter two actually picked up injuries in their Champions League game against PSG on Tuesday, and are both set to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, according to the manager, and will miss the game against us, which, especially with the dreadful form of Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku not really working for the Danes so far, and also Mata's lack of pace compared to the 2 injured players, it is quite a big blow for them to be missing Martial and Lingard, I think. What we'll have to wait and see is whether those injuries might make them go away from their more usual 4-3-3 formation that they've pretty much always used under Solskjaer. I mean, like I say, we just have to wait and see whether that might change anything. I mean, at least to me, it's more of a 4-3-3 rather than a 4-2-3-1, simply because I wouldn't say Pogba plays like a proper number 10. I mean, you could say when they're attacking, he goes into that role more, and then when they, they're defending, they're more in a 4-3-3 shape or in a 4-5-1 shape. You could argue that, but to me, it's more of a 4-3-3. Anyway, overall, they're a very good team, on very, very good form, bar the midweek result. So it will be a very difficult game, that is without doubt. But I really do believe that it is everything but impossible for us to beat. beat them. But to be honest, that was really it about Manchester United. And now getting into Gianfranco Zola's pre-match press conference, which, if you don't know already, ahead of these cup games, it has happened quite regularly this season that Zola did, take these press conferences instead of Maurizio Sarri. And to be honest, today's press conference wasn't all that interesting. I mean, as always, when Zola takes them, a lot of the questions are about his memories as a player, about whoever we're playing or the competition we're playing. All of those silly questions that I don't really care about, in all honesty. I mean, it's nice to hear, but not when I kind of want information ahead of a big game. He was then asked about Callum Hudson-Odoi, and actually Zola just said very similar things you already said about him a few weeks ago. Basically just disagreeing with a load of fans saying that he isn't getting enough game time and that he's not made feel wanted enough. Zola stated that Hudson-Odoi is always on the edge of the team, and when there's an opportunity to play, he does play, whether that's from the start or as a substitute. I mean, again, Zola just reiterated the point that he made a few weeks ago, that there are not many 18-year-olds in top clubs in the world, especially in Europe, that play more than him. And of course, he's not wrong with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Hudson-Odoi shouldn't play. Because obviously, with being 18 years old, he's not the finished article. And of course, he wouldn't be perfect if he played all the time now. Of course, he wouldn't be. But with how inconsistent both Pedro and Willian are, the fact that they're 30 and 31 years old, respectively, that they're not going to improve anymore at that age. While Hudson-Odoi is, not just any 18-year-old. He's a very, very good and talented 18-year-old. Does just want to make me see him more, see him play more. I mean, his transfer request really annoyed me at the time. It really does. It still kind of annoys me to this day because I'm a Chelsea fan, not a Hudson-Odoi fan. I think about Chelsea, not about Hudson-Odoi's future. I don't care. I'm a Chelsea fan. I care about his future while he's at Chelsea, not after that. I'm sorry if that offends some people, but that's just what it is. I'm a Chelsea fan, not a fan of him as an individual player. That's just not what it is. But, he would still give us that attacking spark that I think Pedro and Willian aren't giving us, or at least not less of it, arguably more. And, it's just annoying because, in my opinion, it would be even more drastic if he did get to play regularly. And, the fact that he doesn't play against Man United in the Cup, maybe I can understand to an extent, but the fact that he doesn't play against Malmo in the Europa League, that I find questionable. I mean, I did say hopefully he can start against United now that he didn't play yesterday, but I see that as a very unlikely, thing to happen. Then on new injuries, Zola said there are no new injuries, which is obviously great, but then he didn't really give a proper update on Loftus-Cheek's fitness situation. He obviously missed the trip to Malmo yesterday. Well, for me yesterday, for you 2 days ago, because you're seeing this on Saturday, I think. But yeah, I mean, Zola said that Loftus-Cheek might be available on Monday, which, to me just says that he might be on the bench, but I'm almost certain that he won't make the starting 11. Even if on ability, he probably should be in their team, but, his back just isn't letting him do it at the moment. We have to be so careful with that back. We have to sort that guy out. He's such an unbelievable player. I absolutely love Loftus-Cheek. We just need to get him right. We need to fix that back somehow, make some magic work. Doctors of Chelsea, hire some other doctors, just make it work because we really need that guy to play. But to be honest, that was really it from a press conference. And now speaking about Chelsea and speaking about the lineup. And to be honest, especially after Zola's comments yesterday for you, today for me, I'm almost certain that Hudson-Odoi won't start. As much as I'm hoping for it, I'm almost certain that we're not going to, see that happen. I mean, yes, like I say, it is only Friday when I'm recording this. So, there could be some more injuries that we don't know about just now by the time, obviously, we play them, on Monday that, like I say, we just don't know about yet. So, obviously, if that is the case, that will change whatever I'm going to talk about the lineup now. But let's just hope that there won't be any new injuries. Now, compared to the team that faced Man Utd last Sunday, in all honesty, I don't think there's going to be that many changes. I mean, POGBA will certainly be in goal. The right back will have to be Azpilicueta. I mean, he even played against Malmo, so because they didn't even get a chance there. So it's going to be Azpi against United on Monday as well. Rudiger will come back into the side after resting yesterday. And then I'm pretty sure it will be Luiz as well. Although I guess there is a chance of Christensen playing instead of him, just to, I guess, this time give Luiz the little bit of rest before Rudiger and Luiz how to play together again in the League Cup final. I guess there is a possibility, especially because Christensen was kind of meant to play the League Cup semi-final against Spurs, but then picked up an injury and that's why he couldn't play. But then at left back, well, Alonso didn't even make the trip yesterday, but Emerson didn't play well at all yesterday. It's a difficult one. I mean, I think it's going to be Marcos Alonso, but I really think that it should be Emerson Palmieri, especially seeing with, how United work with their through balls, with their long balls, whether that's on the floor or over the top. They just want to find Rashford with his ridiculous pace so much, especially POGBA, that in my opinion, we need every bit of pace that we can have to go up against Rashford. But like I say, I do still think that it's going to be Marcos Alonso. But in midfield, I mean, Jorginho and Kante are going to start. Whether, you agree with it or not, that's going to happen. And they're also going to start in the position that they always, start in. Jorginho is the regista and N'Golo Kante is the right centre midfielder. But then the left centre midfielder spot is a bit more tricky. Obviously, Loftus-Cheek, like I say, I'm almost certain won't be able to start. So it leaves it between Ross Barkley and Mateo Kovacic. Now, Ross Barkley hasn't been great. Okay, scored against Malmö, but hasn't been great at all. And Mateo Kovacic in that position especially hasn't been great either. And then we kind of have to adapt what's better against Man United, in my opinion. And Ross Barkley does offer more height and more physique, just more strength, that could kind of be very useful against Manchester United midfield three of Paul Pogba, Nemanja Matic, and also under Herrera. But actually, even though Barkley is tall and looks strong, he kind of seems to be pushed off the ball pretty easily anyway. But then at the same time, in our 2-2 against Manchester United way earlier this season, I thought Kovacic was really poor. But, you know, that was, again, a very different Manchester United compared to now under Mourinho and now under Solskjaer, obviously. So it is a little bit tricky because at the same time, Mateo Kovacic's passing is certainly a lot better, you know, than Barkley's is. And against Man United's midfield three, you know, yes, you don't have the physique against them, but against their press, with them kind of levelling out in, you know, numbers in midfield, you need the smooth passing, you need the good passing to kind of get past it. And Barkley, I could just see struggle quite a lot on the ball against Man United's midfield. At the same time, I keep saying at the same time, but it is, you know, at the same time, Kovacic offers absolutely nothing going forward, which Barkley does do a lot more. Still not, you know, enough in my opinion, but he does do a lot more. It just raises the question, if only we could find a mix of both of them combined, just better. Oh wait, there's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, just that he's injured. He's always injured. Please sort his back out. We need to sort his back out. But then coming to the front three, I mean, obviously, Eden Hazard and Gonzalo Higuain are going to start. Hazard on the left, Higuain up front. And then on the right, I'd say Willian is probably going to start there, simply because he was taken off a lot earlier than Pedro was, obviously, in the game against Malmö. And, you know, also Pedro was dreadful against both City and Malmö, even against Malmö. Like, he was worse, in my opinion, against Malmö than Willian was. Both got an assist, but other than that, they were both poor. Just that Pedro was worse, in my opinion, at least. So, you know, with those kind of factors all playing into one, I think that it's going to be Willian. Hopefully, Hudson-Odoi, but I think it's going to be Willian. And just in case you didn't know, for the first time this season, there will not be a replay game in the 5th round of the FA Cup if the game is level after 90 minutes. But unlike in the League Cup, there will be extra time before a penalty shootout. So, you know, we will have a winner of the FA Cup 5th round clash between Chelsea and Manchester United on Monday. There won't be a replay game. And to be honest, I'm getting a little bit bored of myself now, constantly saying the same thing. But it just is constantly the same thing. First of all, we need to be concentrated. We cannot, again, make stupid mistakes like we did at City. I mean, don't lose the ball in stupid positions. Don't be reckless, because that's just stupid. Keep the ball well. I mean, that's always important, you know, because not keeping the ball well is kind of making mistakes, I guess. Move a ridiculous amount. Just move, lads. Please move. Then pass the ball quickly. And if we pass the ball quickly, you know, we can create chances, and then be clinical when we do those, create those chances. And also, press the opponent. Press them well, but press with a structure. Don't just run around like bloody headless chickens, which sometimes we do. I say sometimes. More often than not, we run around like headless chickens when we're trying to press. And that is really frustrating, because that is not what Sarri is asking them to do. And it's really starting to get on my nerves. But now coming to my score predictions. And actually, I'm going to stop making score predictions for the time being, seeing as I couldn't have got them any more wrong against Bournemouth and Man Utd if I tried. Like, I couldn't have been more off, basically. So let's just see what happens. And as much as it would make our, you know, fixture congestion even worse, you know, so much more worse, I really hope that we beat Man United on Monday. And like I said earlier already, I think that we can. Whether we will or not is a different question, but I do think that we can. But to be honest, that's really it from me. Leaving all of your thoughts ahead of the game. Then in the comment section below, who do you think should start? You know, just leave me your predicted lineups down in the comment section below. I won't make predictions, but you can, of course, leave me your score predictions then in the comment section below, and any other thoughts you have ahead of the game also then in the comment section below. Like I said in the beginning, let's see whether we can hit 400 or more likes on this video. That would be massively appreciated, and just shows us that you do enjoy our content, would just help us out a lot as well. So please be sure to smash the like button down below. Of course, don't forget to check out my social media, which is Laos1507 on both Instagram and Twitter, as you can see over here, and also the links to both of them are down in the description below. So if you could follow me over there, I would absolutely love you for it. And of course, this is YouTube, so if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to 100% Chelsea, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads so you don't miss any of your future videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. Can't wait for the game on Monday, and I'll see you next time.